Hi folks, I'm Hector Garcia, and I'm an accountant. However, if you followed any of my work in YouTube, you know that at this point, I pretty much make how-to tutorials for a living. So naturally, I got a question in my comment section that says, hey Hector, do you have any tips for someone that wants to create effective how-to tutorials like yours? And I'm gonna answer that question in this video tutorial. Now, let me first start by saying that prior to me making videos, what I used to do is I used to do written tutorials where I did screenshots of every step of whatever process in QuickBooks, Excel, and other applications. And I posted these tutorials in my website, in my blog. And that's how I really started sort of in the education, how-to tutorial writing world. Now I'm going to log into my website really quick, and I'm going to show you one of the latest blog articles I wrote, which is basically a step-by-step how-to tutorial on how to do a very specific thing in QuickBooks Online. Now, I want to show you this because what I do now is that I do videos and I also do written tutorials. And these written tutorials used to take me 20, 30 minutes before because I used to focus a lot in the writing and taking a couple of screenshots. But now what I do is I use a tool called Scribe or Scribe How, which I'll show you how to use the tool in a second to write these tutorials in less than a couple of minutes, really. And you'll kind of see what the process looks like. So you see this blog article here that says how to switch from accountant view to business view, and you get to see all the steps. You get to see a really clear screenshot with a marking on where you're supposed to click and all the step-by-step instructions. And this is how I do my written tutorials nowadays using this tool called Scribe. So I'm going to open up Scribe and kind of show you what this looks like. This is the Scribe workspace. When you start creating these tutorials, all these scribes start loading into your workspace. And from here, you can do a couple of things. One, you can group them into logical groupings. You can create folders. So you can have all your QuickBooks tutorials or your Excel tutorials or your Word tutorials, whatever tool you use, whatever how-to you need to create for your own business or your own clients, whatever it is that you're doing, you can organize them in whichever way you want. Once you have the Scribe set up, you can open it and you can make edits to them. So I'll show you how to do edits in a second after we record one. But once the Scribe is finished and you did all the editing, you can click in the share button here and you have multiple sharing options. You can directly email it to someone or share it with someone via email, and they'll have an invitation from Scribe to be able to access that. You can click here, it says copy link, and you can copy and paste that link into an email or in a website or wherever you want to do it. There's these smart embed features, which allows you to embed it into your own website, like in my WordPress site, and I'll show you an example of that. And there's a really cool export option where you can export this into like a sort of really professional looking PDF. So a lot of my tutorials are written. You can download a PDF, print it, and follow the instructions step by step. Believe it or not, a lot of people, a lot of users prefer a printed step-by-step instruction, something that looks more like a book how-to guide than a video guide. There's people that prefer that, and that's why I want to show you that option. So if any of you want to create how-to tutorials either for customers or to attract customers or to answer quick questions or to share information with your team so you don't have to repeat yourself over and over or have to make a video, which is obviously a lot more complex, takes a lot more work, this Scribe tool is really, really awesome. So let me show you how to use this tool step by step. So from the Scribe website, once you're logged in, you can actually click in the new button here in the top left, and you can start recording a Scribe. It feels like a screen capture, but it's really not a screen capture. It's more of a step-by-step capture. Also, if you're not logged into Scribe, let's say I'm logged into QuickBooks and I'm going to create a tutorial on how to do a special kind of report, there is a extension on your browser. I'm using Google Chrome, and here in the top right, you get to see that little Scribe icon. If I click on that, I can also start recording from there. So I don't need to be logged into scribehow.com, which is the website that you use to log into the workspace. You can start your recording straight from whatever website you are in simply by using that widget or that Chrome extension or that browser extension. So let me do an example for you right now on the fly. I'm actually going to do the video tutorial so you can see me do it as I do a video tutorial, but I'm also going to have Scribe record the steps for the written version of the tutorial. So you're sort of going to see a 2-in-1 here. You're going to see me record a video tutorial and also have Scribe do the written version, which is really what I want you to focus on, because the most effective how-to tutorials have to have a written version, or trust me, that's how you're going to attract more traffic into your website if you want to create how-to tutorials to promote your business or your expertise. So I'm going to start by clicking start recording. And this is more of a screen capture or a step-by-step capture recording. I'm also using regular video recording software to record the actual video tutorial you're watching. So let's say the client wants to, or the person that's asking wants to run a profit and loss report in QuickBooks Online for last year, broken down by month, collapsing the sub-accounts. A lot of steps there, but let's say that's what they ask. So I'm going to do it step-by-step to show you. And then you can see what the written tutorial looks like and how quickly it gets done. So let's start timing the actual time it takes to do this. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Reports in the left navigation bar. I'll click on Reports, and I'm going to click on Standard Reports to get a list of all my reports. And I'm going to go down and start with a profit and loss report. Notice that I'm clicking on each one. That way, the Scribe capture is taking all the steps, it's writing down all the steps step by step. Now I'm going to scroll up here and I'm going to change the date range from whatever the default that is now to last year, because that's what they asked to do. So I'm going to click and change that to last year, as you can see it there. And then where it says display columns by, they wanted to see it by month. So I'm going to change it from total only to months. And then I'm going to click on months. So that's kind of the first step. Then I'm going to click on Run Report, and that's going to rewrite the report for the entire year by month. The other thing is they wanted to collapse the sub-accounts so they don't see so many accounts. So we're going to click right here where it says Collapse, and that will collapse the sub-accounts. It will make the chart of accounts smaller. And typically what I do, I didn't mention at the beginning, I also want to sort it in descending order. So I'm going to click on Sort here, and then click on Total in descending order. And by doing that, I do the descending order sort, which is my favorite. And you get to see a beautiful P&L report by month right there. Now, what I want to do is I want to save the report now. So I'm going to click on Save Customization here in the top right of the screen. And then I'm going to call it Profit and Loss by month. And I'll put in parentheses last year and close the parentheses and then click on Save. What that allows me to do is that allows me to get to that report quickly if I happen to log out and log back in, or I want to see that report at any point in the future. So I'm going to click on Reports to show you where those custom reports live, and then click right here where it says Custom Reports, and then I'm going to scroll down to where you see Profit and Loss month by year, and I'm just going to click on that one, click on that, and that gets us back to that report. Okay, that's it. That was the video portion of the tutorial. You can time how long the video portion took, but at the same time, Scribe was writing down all those steps. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Up here in the top, you see that little red light letting you know that it is recording. So I'm just going to stop it. It doesn't matter that we went over a little bit. That's not really a big deal. We're going to stop the recording. And then once we're done stopping the recording, it's going to take a couple of minutes, or in this case, a couple of seconds. It's going to pop the new Scribe screen where the new Scribe was created. It'll automatically give it a title. So this one called it Intuit Workflow. I don't know why it does that. It does that for all my QuickBooks tutorials. And that's it. We're ready to get started on editing this Scribe, although it's probably pretty much almost ready, but you do have to edit and tweak it a little bit so it's, so it's worthy of a blog article or something that is not going to confuse anyone. So let me go ahead and click on Edit. So we're going to clean up this and make it perfect. First thing is, it says navigate to whatever this is. We can actually change that URL. We don't need that. Let's just put the default QuickBooks Online website. So I'm just going to put here navigate to. I'll just put login to your QBO account using, I'll type here the regular link. The regular link. So pretty simple. I just changed it a little bit. Again, it's not going to be perfect. It's going to capture most of what you want, but a lot of these things you're going to customize. So we did that. We cleaned that up. We got what this one looking that we wanted. As a matter of fact, I put an extra bracket there. So I'll just finish editing that. Okay, that looks good now. Let's go down now. Now it says click on reports. That's good enough. I like that. I can add something like on the left navigation bar. So notice I just added that myself. You can add something or not, depending on what your tutorial needs to look like. So you get to see the little red dot right there, or the orange dot letting me know that's where the cursor was when I clicked. So that's perfect. Then it says click on standard. Okay, so you can put if you are not already in the standard tab, then click standard. Okay, that's it. So we just basically making little modifications here. And then it says click on profit and loss. So I can, instead of saying click, I'm going to put start with a profit and loss, right? Because the nature of the tutorial is you can essentially do this with any sort of report. So I'm going to put start with a profit and loss. And then I can put here under favorites, although that may not be accurate because they're not always in the favorites, but I'm just going to sort of look at the tutorial itself and just make sense of what I'm looking at and just adding a little bit more flavor to this. Then I'm going to scroll down. It says click on last year. So what I'll do is I'm going to put change the date range to last year. So again, it's not going to read your mind in terms of what you want to communicate, but it does all the initial work for you, which is really great. Now notice that the top part of this screenshot, it's a little bit cropped. Maybe I don't want the top part to be cropped because I really can't tell where I actually clicked. So I'm going to click here on the screenshot icon. That allows me to modify the screenshot a little bit, so I can actually move the screenshot up and down to see, how much of it I want to see. So notice that I get to cut it a little bit, get to adjust it, so I get to focus on what area I want that I want it to show up from the screen. That way, it's not cropped the way it was originally cropped. So you can play with the cropping and notice that right there now it's showing the top part that I want. So instead of putting the date range, I'm going to put change the report period to last year. So now I'm sort of matching what I'm seeing on the screenshot. So we're going to go down and say click on months. So here I can put under display columns by, click on months. Okay, or we can put change it to month. Change it from total only to months. Oops. Okay. So change it to total only. We'll do that quote as well. 2 months. Okay, perfect. Then we're going to go down. It says click run report, and I can put here to refresh report. Perfect. We can scroll down. It says click collapse, and we can put here to hide sub accounts. Then we can scroll down. It says click here. Okay, so that doesn't help, right? Because it probably didn't recognize what it was. So we're going to put click on sort. Click on sort. Okay, and then we go to the next one that says click this radio button, and we can put change default sorting to total in the sending order. Okay, so correct the spelling here. Okay, and then we're going to go down, and it says click here. So I don't need to put click here. I just clicked it on purpose, so I get a quick screenshot of what that looks like. That's a little trick for you with Scribe. You just click in a random place just to kind of capture that, and I did that on purpose. So here I'm going to put now you can see the P&L broken down by month. Perfect. See, and then there's a little cursor there, and I clicked on a place that it would be relevant anyway if somebody's looking at that. So there's an extra click. I guess I clicked twice. So this would be a completely additional one that I don't need. So I can just simply just delete this step completely. I just don't need that step. So we're done with that. Then it says save customization. Okay, so we're going to put here to be able to run this report quickly in the future, click on Save Customization. Perfect. Okay. And then we can put here, name the report. And notice that I really can't see that screenshot well there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click out of that. Then I'm going to go and edit that screenshot again. And then I'm going to adjust the ratio here and the area that's being focused on to make sure that it doesn't get cut off. Then I'm going to click on Done. Okay, perfect. And then what I could also do is I could get rid of these extra steps. I don't need 2 steps. I can actually merge them. So I can go to Select Multiple, and notice I can select 2 of them in one shot like that. You see that? And I can click on Combine Selected. And by doing that, basically combines the instructions for you. So assuming that's what you wanted to do, that could be a great thing to do. You can start combining these steps. So that's not something that you want to do. I'm going to go split into steps again, because sometimes combining might not be the best thing to do. It's just an example of it. What I can also do what's called merging. So I click on Merge Steps, and then I can select the 2 here, and then click on Merge Selected, and you can kind of see how they work a little bit different, right? So it works similar but different on the way the steps work. It will be up to you on whether or not you want to actually merge them. I'm going to split into steps, and if for whatever reason you don't like merging, just copy and paste. So I take this instruction up here, copy it, and then come and edit, and then I'll just paste right there and make it into sort of two steps, and then I'm going to delete the extra steps. There's multiple ways pretty much to combine steps by merging them or grouping them together, that sort of thing. Let's go down here and say, click on Reports, and I will say, to recall a saved report. We'll put this all in caps. Save report. Click on Reports. Okay, that works. And then click on Custom Reports. Perfect. And then we can say here, find the report you want to see, and click on the title. Okay, fix the spelling there. And then we go down here, and this will be an extra, right? Or as a matter of fact, I'll take the information I wrote up here because I like that second screenshot better. So I'll copy and paste in there, and then I'll delete this. That seems pretty much like a duplicate step. Delete that. Okay, perfect. And that would be it. So I'm done, completely done with my Scribe in terms of editing the steps. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to edit the title. So I'm going to call this QuickBooks Online Create P&L by month for last year. So just give it whatever name I want to give it. I can click on Done. Once I'm completely done with my Scribe is finished. My step-by-step tutorial is finished. If I click on Share, copy the link, and I'll just go to an incognito window to show you. So if somebody else was copy and pasting the link from their browser, this is exactly what it would look like. They're not going to see the edit button because this is basically the public version of that Scribe. And if they click on Save on Scribe, they can then create their own account and save it sort of into their own free Scribe account. But for now, this is a public URL, and anyone that visits this will be able to see that Scribe. And I'm just showing you that in an incognito window so you can see what that would look like if someone else were to click on the link that you share. Okay, so that's kind of the first step. We created the Scribe, we edited it, you saw all those steps. Let's talk about how to embed that into your own website. So I use WordPress, of course, depending if you use something else like Squarespace or Wix or whatever, the process might be a little bit different, but I'm going to show you how I do it in WordPress anyway. So I'm going to click here, it says Share, and then I'm going to click where it says Export. I'm going to do 2 exports because I want to show you what I do. First, I'm going to do the PDF export. I'm going to click on Export, and then that takes usually 30 seconds to a minute, to create that PDF. Once the PDF is completely saved, We're just waiting for it to finish. I'm going to save it somewhere in my computer. So I'm going to save this into my desktop or my downloads or whatever. And I just kind of just dumped it into my computer somewhere because I'm going to show you the last finishing touch, which is really, really neat. And I'm going to go back into my my share page. And then I'm going to go into where it says export as HTML. That's one of the options. I can also do Smart Embed. I'll show you both. So I'm going to go to export HTML. I'm going to click on export. And then this is going to give me my full HTML code. Now I'm going to click on copy to clipboard. And basically all the HTML, it's in my clipboard. I'm going to switch over to my website. And I'm going to go into WordPress. If you're not familiar with WordPress, obviously, this might be something you've never seen before. But it would be whatever back end your website uses to where you write articles, okay? You can share this in LinkedIn as well if you want to, or whatever other place you write articles. In my particular case, I do it in my WordPress for my website. So I'm going to go to post and go to new. So I'm just going to create a new post. Then I'm going to go into text over here in the right, and then I'm just going to copy and paste that HTML in there. Okay, just a bunch of mumbo jumbo, right? Then I go back into visual, and then you see that the entire HTML gets converted into something that that you would understand. At that point, you can do some other minor tweaks in here. For example, I take the title, I cut that, and I put that in the actual WordPress title post. I delete made by Hector Garcia. I don't need to do that. You can keep that if you want to. It's really up to you. Okay, and then sometimes I create spaces between steps. I like creating a couple of spaces between steps. It's not a preference that Scribe has at the moment. I have suggested, the option to have or pre-build spaces in the HTML. For my workflow, it works pretty good. Notice that this is just my preference, just trying to create some spacing between the steps. And I'll show you, you don't need to do that when you use the embed mode, the iframe mode, which I'll show you in a second, but I actually like doing those little spaces. Okay, so that's pretty much all the editing or the tweaking I did inside WordPress. And then here at the end, I put here download PDF printable version. I take that entire link and then I click on add media. And then I'm going to go to upload files. Again, this is a WordPress thing. I don't want to bore you if you never used WordPress before. We'll go back to sort of a non-WordPress setting in a second. I'm just kind of showing you what I do here. And then I insert into the post, okay? And then I'll just delete all this text here. And I'll type again what I was typing before. Download PDF printable version, okay? So I just edited what happened there because I forgot to do it in the previous step. So by doing that, I uploaded an actual separate PDF that's not living in Scribe. It's living in my website, in my blog somewhere. And there's a button there where you can do that printable version. It would be cool for that to automatically come in, but that's just not the way it works at the moment. But the HTML copy and paste basically did all the work for me. I can add hyperlinks if I want to. If I happen to have any hyperlinks in there, that could be worth it. Again, depending on your workflow, depending on what you're trying to achieve. Then I'm going to click on publish. Then voila, in seconds, I uploaded that Scribe, which is living as a Scribe link and also living in my blog. I'm going to click on view post so you can see what it looks like. And I'll also put a link to this exact same post in the description so you can see the final version of what we did here live. And now you see a beautiful posting with nice, crisp, sharp screenshots, very easy to follow instructions step by step, and then icing on the cake, a button here that says download PDF printable version. So for those people that want to print it in a printable version, there it is, a beautiful book quality step-by-step instruction in PDF. So that's the process on how I post these things into WordPress. I'm going to show you one more thing. I'm going to go back into Scribe here, and I'm going to show you sort of an alternate way of posting the tutorials that's not using the traditional copy and paste of HTML for the entire thing. We're going to do what's called an iframe. An iframe is a little bit different. Basically, what it does is it embeds like a website within a website, and you don't have to do any edits. It actually embeds the clean Scribe link version of that into the site itself. So let me show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to grab this same exact Scribe we were looking at. I'm going to go into share, but this time around, I'm going to do smart embed, and then I'm going to copy this thing called embed snippet. Basically, that's the iframe. I'm going to go back into my blog article or my website and create a new posting. I'll create a new posting. I'm going to post this one slightly different. So I'm going to post this one as an iframe. So I'm still going to do the copy and pasting here into the iframe. You see it right here. So I'm still going to copy and paste this here. And I also give it a title. I'm going to go back and see my title here. So I'm just going to copy this title here and go back and put it here. And then I'll put in parentheses iframe in the title. I know it doesn't make sense to the outside world, but for you, it will make sense. And I'll put a link to this posting as well so you can compare them both and you can see for yourself which one might work better for you. I did the same thing. I copy and pasted some code, but I did it as an iframe instead. So I'm going to click on publish here, and then I'm going to view the post so you can see what that looks like. And for many people, it looks the exact same way, but it's sort of a website within a website. And then in this particular case, this is a step-by-step mode, which is pretty cool. So when you click on get started, it's the same exact steps, and I click on next, but it just shows you each step, sort of like a presentation. So you can go through them one by one, and it's just a very different way to do it. So you can see that it's just an entirely different approach. Now, what's cool about this is on the way it is now, I'm not going to edit my website anymore because I did the iframe. I'm going to go back into Scribe. I'm going to go back here where it says edit, and on the smart embed, I'm going to change the mode. Prior to doing the smart embed, I'm going to change the mode, and I'm going to click on options. So when I click on options, now you get to see a couple of extra things. So I'm going to click on large. So basically it takes the entire screen. And then I'm going to click here on show as scrolling steps. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to click on skip introduction and click on remove Scribe logo. So you're going to see it. That's going to look a lot different. I'm going to copy the snippet, go back here, and I'm just going to modify that page. Before I said you don't have to change it, but you do have to change it. Just remove the old iframe and enter the new iframe. There's just some extra coding in there. I'm going to click on update, and then I'm going to preview it again one more time. So now you get to see that we posted the same thing, but now this is more of a sort of a long form. And notice that I scroll within the page every single step. So you be the judge. What do you like better? You like to paste the entire HTML code so you can scroll the entire website? Do you want to do a scroll, sort of a page within a page? Or do you want those step-by-step instructions where you click on next, 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 next? So that's really up to you on which route you are going to want to take. So we can talk about their pricing. Now, keep in mind that when I recorded this video, Scribe was this much, right? It could be different by the time you watch it, but basically their concept is there's going to be a free version for individuals, and that free version allows you to do unlimited guides, allows you to use the web app, which is what I use, all within a browser, allows you to do quick customizations and share your links and embedded links. However, if you want to get a little bit more like the desktop version of the app, and I'll talk about that in a second, if you want to do branded guides, basically you can remove the Scribe logos to them. If you want to customize the screenshots, remember when I resize the screenshot and I move them around, and this engagement insights, which is basically sort of a report that lets you know how many people are watching that and what kind of interaction you're having with that post. I have never used the enterprise edition, so I can't speak to that too much, but I'm currently paying for the pro plan for $29. I'm the only one that's using it in my team. Next is going to be getting all my team members to be creating scribes. That's going to be one of my goals for this year, is to have everybody create a scribe. So I do want to talk about this desktop app, and what I mean by that, let me sign back into Scribe here for a second, just because the desktop app is an important concept. With the desktop app, you can do recordings of your computer apps. So what you saw is me do a demo of QuickBooks Online, which is within a browser. So the browser app works for any demonstrations you do for browser-based apps. But let's say, for example, I wanted to demonstrate QuickBooks Desktop or the desktop version of Excel or something like that. For that, I actually have to download the app. So here in your profile button in the top, it's going to say Desktop App. When you click on Desktop App, it'll ask you whether it's PC or Mac. You click on Download for Mac, whatever version you have. Then you install it. And then once you install it, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I went ahead and launched my QuickBooks Desktop application to show you how Scribe can also record your step-by-step instructions on desktop software. Of course, I was using QuickBooks Online before that worked inside of a browser. So if I want to do screen recording of a desktop application, I need to have the desktop version of Scribe as well. So I have that running in my Mac. It works similar in a PC. I'm going to go ahead and click on New to start the screen recording. It's going to ask me, do you want to do a full screen recording or a process map? We'll start with screen recording. And it tells me, do you want to record screen A or screen B? I'll pick whichever screen I want to do the recording on. And then I click on Start Recording. And then essentially my step-by-step Scribe instructions are being recorded at the moment. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the home page here. And let's say I'm doing something similar. I'm going to go into the Reports menu, go into Company Financial, Profit and Loss Standard. I'm just going to follow same instructions that I did in QuickBooks Online, but I'm going to show you the desktop version of scribing, okay? So then I'm going to go here to From and do my date range. So I'll pick here last fiscal year in this particular case, and then I'm going to do columns by month. So I'm doing the exact same actions in the Mac version. Then I'm going to click on Collapse Rows, and then I'm going to expand the screen here so I can see it a little bit better. And let's say this is the exact report I wanted to see. And then at this point, I'm just going to save it. So I click on Memorize here in the top, and then I do Profit and Loss. We'll put here by month, parentheses, last year, and click on OK. And I'll stop it there because you kind of get the point at this point. Let me go ahead and stop that Scribe. I'll close QuickBooks at this point. And now you're looking at my desktop version of Scribe, which should look exactly like the online version at this point. And then you get to see the step-by-step instructions. So you would follow the exact same process, edit, change, whatever you want, share it, embed it, whatever you want. You get to see that Scribe also works with desktop applications. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I strongly encourage you to start creating written tutorials. If you do video tutorials as well, obviously I encourage that as well, but take advantage of Scribe's ability to do step-by-step instructions. For many people, they just turn Scribe on all day as they work. And then once they're done working an hour or two, you go back and see this wonderful kind of audit trail of everything you did and touch. And there might be some nuggets of gold, step-by-step instructions that you can create tutorials to then teach people in your office how to do what you do. Teach customers how you do what you do. Showcase the world, teach other professionals, and showcase your expertise by creating blog articles on top of videos. I think videos are valuable too, but I think Scribe, this tool is it's just amazing. And there's a free version. Take advantage of that. And the $29 for the extra features is worth every penny. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll put links in the description to everything we talked about, and I'll see you on the next one.